So, on behalf of the committee, it is an honor for me, Dewi Wulandari, to serve as today's moderator. And in this session, we will listen to three insightful lectures from Ma'am Sheila Maijuan from MMSU, Sir Arif Wibisono. Wait, Ma'am Sheila, have you joined us already? Good afternoon,
Yes,
Ma'am
ma'am. Yes,
Sela.
ma'am.
Oh, all right. Okay. Thank you so much, Ma'am
Hi,
Sela.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much. And then we have Sir Arif Wibisono today. Hi, Sir Arif. Good afternoon. How are you today, Sir Arif?
Yeah, thank you for asking. I'm good today and very cool in here.
Very
Absolutely very
cool.
cool. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Sir Arif. And then actually today we have Sir Enric Christopher Paulino from MMSU, but unfortunately Sir Eric is unable to join us today. But even so, we will still can follow his lecture through the recording that we will play it after Sir Arif's session. So we will have first Mam Sela, and then we will have Sir Arif, and then we will play the recording of lectures of Sir Enric Christopher Paulino from MSU. And then each speaker will have actually around 20 minutes, and then followed by 15 minutes Q&A session. Okay, now we are moving to the main part of today's program, the lecture series. So we will have our first distinguished speaker from the Mariano Marcos State University, Philippines. But let me introduce first Mam Sela Mejuan, who will deliver a lecture entitled Reimagining Classroom Learning with Interactive Technologies. Sheila Mejuan um, is an instructor one in technical, vocational, and livelihood education in the
Nice.
MMSU College of Teacher Education. She is completing her Master of Arts in Education major in Technical Vocational Education and holds a bachelor's degree in Technical Teacher Education major in Computer Technology. Her professional work includes teaching, developing multimedia instructional materials, and serving a research speaker in several training programs on ICT and teacher development. Sheila has participated in multiple national trainings, including AI in social research, Minecraft education, and mobile robotics, and various talk sessions, all supporting her commitment to enhancing instructional innovation and digital pedagogy. So please welcome Mam Sheila Mejuan. Mam Sheila, are you ready? Time's yours, Mam Sheila.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for that warm introduction to me. So, first and foremost, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So first and foremost, I'd like first to introduce myself. I am Miss Sheila Meiji, one of the instructor here at Mariana Marcos State University College of Teacher Education under Technical, Vocational, and Livelihood Education here in the Philippines. Okay, so before we dive in today's topic, let me just share to you my PowerPoint presentation. Okay, is my presentation visible to the participants? Please thumbs up or you can just comment if this is visible to online.
Yes, ma'am. It's all
Okay.
visible.
Thank you, Ma'am Dewi. Okay, so before we dive in today's topic, I want you to imagine this kind of classroom. I'm giving 20 minutes to discuss, Ma'am Dewi, right?
Yes, ma'am. True.
Okay, Ma'am. Thank you, Ma'am. Okay. Okay, so I want you first, this is the virtual classroom. I want you to imagine this kind of classroom where students are not just listening, but exploring, interacting, and creating. A classroom where students feels just like discovery and not just instructions. So now that we've imagined this kind of classroom, once that alive with curiosity and creativity, it's time to ask ourselves as an educator. And of course, I think some of the participants here are future educators. So, how can, let's time to ask ourselves on this. How can I make my lesson more engaging? How can I reach every learner no matter their style or pace? The answer doesn't always lie in doing more, right? So we do the normal things. For example, we always do the presentation, PowerPoint presentation. It's something that it lies in doing things differently. Okay, so this brings us to our main topic or main focus for today, reimagining classroom learning using interactive technology. Okay, so later on I will proceed with the discussion on the digital tool that will help us create learning or maximize the learning engagement of our students. So as an educator, we know that engagement is the heart of the learning. When students are actively involved into our discussion, they don't just memorize things, right? They don't just memorize the lesson. They understand, apply, and of course, they create things based on their understanding. Uh, this involves, but keeping student engaged today's lesson is means going beyond the chalkboard and the PowerPoint presentation. It's more on engaging or embracing digital tools that we have right now. So this so I'll be presenting, so the flow of my presentation is that I'll be presenting to you a digital tool that would help us to create a meaningful learning to our students. And of course, later on, by means of the activities, by means of integrating media rather. And later on, I will show to you on how to create those things based on how to create those things on that digital learning. Okay. First is if you are already familiar with the Nearpod, we all know that I know some of you are already familiar with this one, but have you tried all the features of this? So Nearpod is an interactive learning in real time. You can do the self-paced. You can also have the live participation. They can also have also the flexible and accessible anywhere. The Nearpod is flexible. And of course, you can have your instant feedback and insight to your students. Okay? So Nearpod transform ordinary presentations into live. We do some presentations, right? But it's more on can we maximize the learning engagement of the students with that with that presentation itself only. But of course, that is the use of the Nearpod or that is the help of the Nearpod. So particularly learning experience where students don't just watch, but they engage. So that is our target. We let our student engage with our discussion because we know that the more senses involved, they learn, they will understand, and of course they will apply. So here, these are the activities given by the Nearpad. If you are familiar with the Nearpad, okay? So you can integrate multiple choice into your presentation. One thing I love about Nearpad is that you can utilize your already made presentation and enhance it using multiple choice. You can also put time to climb, drag and drop, but this drag and drop is only for the premium accounts. I only have the free account, but actually the free account is already good enough to create an instructional material for our student. We also have draw it, open-ended questions, collaborative board, poll, matching pairs, quizzes, memory tests, fill in the blanks. As you can see, these are the traditional activities we've given to our students already. But the twist is we can integrate this one into our presentations or already made presentation that makes it more engaging to our student. Of course, it's not just about the activities, but of course, we can also integrate media. What are those? We can upload materials, visuals. What I love about this Nearpod is that instead of giving them the plain visuals where the students will only just watch, but of course you can integrate multiple choice questions or open-ended questions in that particular visual to make it more engaging or to assess if they really understand the lesson or the visual that you presented. You can also include slideshow, web content, virtual reality field trip, Nearpod 3D, PET simulations. This is for physical, basics, math, science simulations, SWAY, and of course the BBC visual. So this ends my presentation because I will demonstrate to you or I will show to you on how to create these things using the real application. Okay, so I'll just end here. Then I'll show to you my whole uh, okay. Is my screen already presented or visible or the nearpad is visible to the audience, Ma'am Dewi?
Yes, I'm sorry, ma'am. Yes, your presentation is visible.
The nearpad application, ma'am.
Oh, yes. Yes, we can see
Okay,
the
thank you,
Nerpot
ma'am.
now.
Thank you, Ma'am Dewi. Okay, so this is the nearpad. If you try to look on this port, you can see here, you try to search the nearpad. Here, it allows you the nearpad.com. Nearpad.com has a free version and of course a version. Okay, you add this one. Since I already signed up with my account, let me just run through this one. Nearpod. So I have here, you can just search on your computer Nearpod. As you can see here, we have here, this is my library. The Nearpod has its own features. For example, you can create a new lesson. Of course, you can also have the Nearpod library wherein the Nearpod team created a lot of lessons you can utilize and edit it later. So uh, that's the features of the Nearpad. You can see, for example, I have here. I presented a while back on how to make a presentation more interactive. I have here a already made lesson in my class. Let me just utilize this one for the demonstration purposes. Okay, so this one is my own library. When I talk about my own library, these are the lessons I already created or the instructional materials that I already created. Okay, so I have here this one. I can just, if you want to, for example, if you want to use this, if you want to create a new lesson, you can go here, you click this three line here and create a new lesson. You will have four options here. One is you can create a lesson from scratch, which means you back to zero, no layout at all. You can create on your own. You can upload the lesson. For example, you already have your presentation, then you can utilize it or enhance it, then you may do so. You can also explore the Nearpad library, where in the Nearpad library, you can see here the pre-made lessons already made by the Nearpad team. Of course, we'll also have here the Google Slides add-ons. Okay, for example, let's just create. For example, this is the scenario. This is the scenario wherein I want my lesson to be more engaging. So I have here my pre-made lessons already. For example, I already uploaded this one. If you try to upload your presentation, for example, you can click here. then create new lesson, for example, and upload. So that's the process I made a while back on how to upload my pre-made lessons, and I want it to enhance later on. Okay, yeah, here. Then you put here, edit. Okay. Hmm. Okay, so while waiting, let's proceed with how can we create a multiple choice into our topic. So anyway, for your information, these are the pre-made lessons I made on the PowerPoint presentation or the ordinary PowerPoint presentation. All I have to do is that I want to make my presentation more engaging by means of creating, for example, multiple choice, open-ended questions, that during the lessons, during the discussion, there will be an engagement with my student by means of, for example, I want them to give multiple choice questions to assess if they really understood the lesson. Okay, how to do that? As you can see here on the main or your workspaces, you can see here the slides I already created. So these are the pre-made already. And excuse me. So if we try, for example, on my slide, I will just use this slide to give you a simple glimpse on how to embed multiple choice and different activities or engaging activities offered by the Nearpad. Okay, so you can see here, you add new here. As you can see, you have a lot of options. So let's just wait because of the internet connection. I think, okay. No, excuse me. As you can see here, of course, you can add as many as you can activities onto your presentation just to make your presentation more engaging to your students. Okay, I have here multiple choice. You have a lot of option actually. Drag and drop, draw it, open-ended questions, collaborative board, poll, just like what I presented a while back. These are the features given by the Nearpad. So let's just proceed with, for example, I want to ask question to my students. So I add here, as you can see, you can check this one, add here on the part of this one. So my topic is Unit 1. I have Introduction to System Administration. First, of course, I want to assess why does Okay. So I have here, pardon me, because I already created an multiple choice question just to minimize my time because I only have limited time to present. Hmm. Is the NERPAD visible to our audience, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Your
Okay.
near pod is visible.
Thank you, Ma'am Dewi. So I have here, for example, I want to ask questions to my student on embedded into my presentations. For example, I have here, I already created a multiple choice for this one just to lessen my time on creating. For example, I have here, what I'm doing right now is I'm copying the activities or the multiple choice I already created so I can embed this one into my presentation. Okay? For example, I have here, I only have two options. I mean, I have two questions just to assess their knowledge. Then you can also add questions here. You click this one, you put the question number 2 here. For example, 2, this is question number 2. Then later on, after I will demonstrate to you on how to create this one, I will give you, yes sir, wait. Okay, so you can also add, pardon me for that. You can also add questions here. This is question number 2. Let me just copy and paste the multiple choice I already created. Then what I'm doing right now is I'm copying. Okay. Actually, if you are a beginner on using this Nearpad, this is actually a user-friendly or a beginner-friendly because everything is just basic or easy to access, okay? So of course, if you're done with this one, for example, this is just my multiple choice questions embedded into my presentation, always save your document or always save your of course, you can also you must also put here the right answer by just clicking this one. For example, if this is the right one, what is the answer? Is B and A. We have here, this is the right answer, and we have here. Then always save your lesson. Okay. So let's just wait on the process of saving this one. So we're done with the multiple choice. Later on, I will proceed with the how can we present this one to our student. So let's just embed maybe 2 or 3 more activities so that you can you know how to embed those one. Yeah. I'm back with my presentation a while back. Okay, so as you can see here, there's an indication there that there is a multiple choice questions embedded into my topic. As you can see here, it's just it looks like the normal PowerPoint presentations in Microsoft Word that we are using, right? So as you can see here, there is an indication that there is a multiple choice embedded into my question or into my presentation. And for example, I also want also to ask this one. In my presentation, I do not want this one. For example, I want it to more engaging. By means of, I can also create a poll here. Again, again, process. The process again is you can click here, add new activities, then, excuse, poll, and add selected. For example, I have here, I want to ask my student, how does system administration matter? As you can see, you can have a poll here, poll which means they will choose yes if it does or no. Okay, so of course, you can add this one, add answer if there's another option again. Okay, so that's how you embed poll into your lesson. Then always save, of course. The next one is, for example, I want also to uh, add an open-ended question to my students during the presentation. So by means of, again, as you can see here, this is my own library, okay? This is for the demonstration purposes, so I can give you an idea on how can you embed engaging activities to your students, okay? Because I only have limited time, maybe you can just ask questions later on, so I can run to you on this part. So, but of course, if you want to learn the Nearpad, you can just go to the nearpad.com. And of course, you can see there are a lot of features, and you can choose or click the activities you can give to your student. Save. So because we're running out of time, I think we can proceed with how can we present this one to our students. Okay, as you can see here, you can teach this one and you only have two options. It's either live participation or student pays. For example, it's live participation. Instead of course, let's utilize their phones. Okay. So for example, there's a code here wherein they will join with your students to make it interactive. You have here, you can put the nearpad, join.nearpad.com. Then the student will join with the code provided into your discussion. Then of course they will also join, and of course they will also rename. For example, I'm the student one. As you can see here, okay. So as you can see here, the student is already joined the class. Okay. So let's see the activities I embedded into my topic. So one here is, for example, again, I embed 2 or 3 activities into my topic. So one of which is the multiple choice. As you can see here, if you join already, or the student is already joined with the topic or with the discussion you presented, it will appear into their devices. Okay. So for example, the student will join here. For example, I'm the student A. Then I can click here, then next, then I can click here and next. Okay. Okay, now the question is, how are we going to monitor if the student answered the questions already? Okay, how? As you can see here, we have the student. So this feature or this presentation is already presented into their devices. Then you can also have here the teacher. As you can see here, I'm the student A. If you already joined with my code, you can see here your scores, the scoring of the students. So I have here now, the student A answered 1/2. Okay, that is how you will monitor the performance of your students by means of the student and the teacher. I also have integrated other two types of activities here. Let's see how it process. Does system administration matter? If you try to remember, I put a poll here wherein the student will answer if system administration matters or not. Okay? If there is a yes and yes, they can put here onto their devices yes, and that way you can see here student A answer it does matter. Okay, the next activity is we have here. I think I gave an open. I think I only put 2. Okay, so that is how it works. Okay, that is how you will present your lesson into your classes. Okay, instead of using the features of Nearpod is, instead of using a plain presentation, right, with animation, of course we create we add animations or topic. But of course, how can we maximize the learning engagement of the student? We all know if the students engage means they understand, they apply, and they create things based on their understanding. Okay. Again, if you want, for example, to try another activities you want to embed into your topic, for example, you proceed again with here. If you are a beginner, this is very easy to understand, easy to follow. So as a teacher, there's no need for you to have tutorials on everywhere, because of course the Nearpod also offers a tutorial on how you will navigate the application itself. Okay, by means of you put here my Nearpod, the Nearpod library. the Nearpod library is very different on my library. Okay, as you can see here, these are the pre-made activities or pre-made lessons created by the Nearpod team. Okay, you can put here the grade level you are teaching, the subject you are teaching, the content types and publisher. So you can see here also, for example, the featured how they also give you a tutorial on how to use the Nearpod, what activities you will embed with your Nearpods, something like that. Okay, so again, if you want to create also a from scratch. You can also, if you do not want, for example, to utilize your old presentation, you can also create from scratch by means of, again, coming here from the left side, you can see here the straight lines, create a new lesson. I hope you can follow with my uh, presentation. I hope you can follow. This is but if you do have questions, just please feel free to ask questions later on after my presentation. Okay, you can create a lesson from scratch. Let's try to navigate this one by clicking here. Okay, let's just wait. Okay, as you can see here, one thing I love about Nearpod again is you can upload your pre-made lessons, you can upload, you can create your own, and of course, embed different activities as easy as that. Okay, blank slide and activities. Okay, so we have also here the pre-made activities. For example, if you have pre-made activities given, pre-made activities that are applicable to your discussion or to your topic, then you can browse this one. I think, yeah. Here you can access the following. One thing, again, I love about Nearpod is that you can use the activities they provided and edit it based on your preferences or based on the topics aligning with your lesson objectives. Okay? Again, if it's a media, for example, as you can see here, blank slide, you can create a blank slide and activities, and of course, a media. Media is something like, these are the activities given. Okay? So you can see also here, the activities, then the media. Okay, so media itself is, for example, if you want to embed visuals, slideshow, of course, you can also, you want your student have a virtual tour to the Philippines, uh, or any places you want, then you can, for example, you can create this one, you add this one, check this one rather, then add. Okay, as easy as that. Okay, so that is how you will do the Nearpod. As you can see here, it is powered by the 360 cities. Okay, so you can see here, you can also search the Philippines if you want to explore the Philippines. Okay, so this is 360 already. For example, you want your student to explore the beauty sea landscape beaches of the Philippines. You can click this one. This is a 360 degree. So they can just, yeah, that is how you will, yeah, okay. So you can add again this one into your presentation as easy as that. That's how the Nearpod is very helpful and powerful to, of course, educators like us. Okay. For example, I want also to, for example, I want to add something like a, what if I'm a science teacher, a physics teacher? Instead of giving them, instead of giving them a purely discussion, why not you let your students simulate? Okay. The simulations, this is for free. You can create, you can add this one into your PowerPoint presentation by adding this one. PET is physics, health, and education technology. So I have here, but the categories only we have the math and sciences. For example, you want your students to learn The following, this one. You can search this one instead of giving them a lecture base. You can browse the following features or given presentations by the nearby. Okay, so these are the simulations. For example, you let your student on the Ohm's law, you are teaching Ohm's law. You want your student understand the relationship of the voltage, resistance, or the current, then you may do so. For example, that's why this is very interactive because you let your student engage, but in a virtual way. Okay, for example, this one, if there is a higher voltage, lower resistance, what will happen to the current? Okay. It's not just about this one, but of course, as you can see here, if these are applicable, you can see here the things that you can add into your presentation. So as you can see here, the presentation, if you try to, for example, select this one, it will automatically add into your presentation. Okay? Do I still have time, Ma'am Dewi?
Ma'am Devi.
Yes, 2 minute more, ma'am. 2 minutes more.
Okay, Ma'am Debbie. Thank you so much, Ma'am Debbie. Okay. So again, if this applicable to you, you may do so. For example, this one, if this is sciences, this is if you want to learn more on the actives, products, and leftovers, you can do so. State of matters, the basic basis changes how a liquid, solid, and gas, for example, it was heated, they can engage with the topics with the simulations. So these are very important. These are which we all know that if they do it that way, even if it's virtually, we can conclude that we can really understand the topic. You can also add, for example, here. You can also add here the visuals. Add videos here. How can we make it more interactive? By means of, for example, I add video here by means of adding questions. Instead of giving them the plain visual, for example, instead of giving them the plain visual, why not in visual you can put here an open-ended questions, a multiple choice that will assess if they truly understand the lesson or not. Okay, so for example, you add visuals here, upload visuals. You can upload visuals. You may add visuals here. Okay, I do not have any available videos kasi. So you can just put this one and then after that, there is a timestamp on the visual. A timestamp will
A
indicate
minute,
that,
mom.
okay, ma'am. A timestamp will give you uh, a stop over wherein they have to answer the question first that you add into your video. You can also have here, as you can see here, there's a lot of option. It's not just the media, but of course activities that I already presented. You can put here the following. Yeah, collaborative board if you want to ask them questions. Some questions, then you may do so. Matching pairs to assess if quizzes, fill in the blanks, something like that. So for example, fill in the blanks, memory test. Yeah. Let's say the memory test, for example, for if you are teaching elementary, you want to test their memory level. You can add, you may have the text to text, image to image, and image to image. For example, mango. Uh, then drag and drop. I think the internet connection is not. Let's just wait. So the sequence of this one is that in memory test, of course, there will be a pair wherein they will select, for example, banana.
Mom Sheila, I'm so sorry, but I think the
Yes,
time
ma'am.
is already up now.
It's okay, Ma'am Dewi. Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
I have a lot of things to show, but of course we have a
Yeah, I
limited
know.
time.
Okay.
Okay, so
Yeah,
thank
I'm
you.
so
I
sorry,
hope
Mom.
you follow. Yes, ma'am. I hope you follow the discussion, and I hope you learned from my discussion. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Okay, thank you so much, Mom Sela. I know that there are still much thing that you want to share with us, but I think we can continue in Q&A session after all the session, all the speakers. Okay, thank you so much, Ma'am Sela, for the very insightful lecture. So we will now go to our second speaker today, Mr. Arif Wibisono. Sir Arif, can you hear my voice, Sir
Yes,
Arif?
very clear, very clear.
Okay, all right, Sir Arif.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone. So, before we hear the lecture from Sir Arif today, this afternoon, that he will deliver a lecture entitled Integrating STEM through stimulations, through,
Simulation.
sorry, simulations.
Simulation.
Okay, but first let me read his brief CV. So, Mr. Arif Wibisono is a PhD candidate in Intelligence Mechatronics Engineering at Sejong University in Seoul, South Korea. He holds a master's degree in computer science from Universitas Dianuswantoro, Semarang, Indonesia, and a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering education from Universitas Negeri Semarang, Indonesia. His research focuses on multi-agent reinforcement learning, autonomous underwater vehicles, and underwater wireless communication systems, with multiple publications in high-impact journals such as IEEE Access and the IEEE Sensors Journal. He
Yep.
is also active as an international reviewer and a graduate student member of IEEE and MDPI Sensors. His technical expertise includes Python, MATLAB, C++, ROS, and various simulations and machine learning tools. All right, what a very mind-blowing CV. Thank you so much. Okay, Sir Arif Wibisono, please present your presentation. Time's yours, sir.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Dewi. Thank you for the time. Maybe it's a little different with Mrs. Sila Mehuan from Mariana Marcos State University. I will bring a different topic because actually almost 3 years I done teaching, so I almost 3 years also I just focus on research, especially was said by Mrs. Dewi that my research is focused on autonomous underwater vehicle and underwater communication. So I want, before I start my presentation, I want show to you is about this one. I make this simulation is this is simple experiment. Okay. How about my screen? Is visible right now?
Yes, your presentation
Okay.
is visible, Sir Arif.
Okay. Yeah, I make this simulation using Python. This is a show. Try to comparing about the Kalman filter, extended Kalman filter, unstanson Kalman filter, and particle filter in here. And in the simulation, they have mission to finish the mission to get its waypoints is 1, 2, 3, 4. So like a game. So I also in my simulation I apply the physics phenomenon if we try to move our vehicle on the underwater. Of course, they have a cross wave, so the speed actually not a real speed. They will decreasing the speed by the cross wave. So in this simulation, I also apply the energy consumption in here because we can see in here the parameter we can see VP is mean waypoint 5/5 energy, and this is a current estimation on milli per seconds. So from this simulation, hopefully we can know where is the better. Okay, so that's the simulation. So now I want to share my slides. So uh, what what we can take from my research, especially I want to integrating STEM. STEM in here is science, technological, engineering, and mathematics through simulation, especially for waypoint correction using KF, EKF, UKF, and PF. And as a case study on the integration of physics, mathematics, and information technology, because when I finish my study, I will back to my faculty, especially on the mathematics, science, and information technology education on UPGRIS, and I want to apply a case study on integration of physics, mathematics, and information technology in here. So why STEM is relevant? Why STEM is relevant? Because we also have to know that STEM is combination between the science. Uh, from the science, we can understanding real world phenomena such as ocean current, sensor behavior, and IUV dynamics that you can see on my video, my last video. Real world phenomena we can apply on simulation using the mathematical approach, using the physics approach, and we make onto the coding on Python. Technology in here is for implementing sensor, actuator, and navigation algorithm. How about my screen? I'm sorry. Yeah, my screen is visible, right?
Yes,
Okay,
your screen is visible.
okay. And T in here is technology. Function of technology in here is implementing sensor, actuator, and navigation algorithm. For E is engineering by design, integrating simulation and control system. And for the mathematics is developing model, predictive equation, and estimation framework. So in here, I want to say that a STEM is not merely combination of discipline. It's a way of thinking that integrate knowledge across scientific domains. I think it's related what Mrs. Sila want to say. Uh, STEM is like similar with PET, but PET is they concern on the physics. STEM try to combine all mathematics, physics, and engineering. Concrete example, this small scale project integrate element of STEM to demonstrate the application of scientific and computational reasoning in autonomous navigation. Physics in here we can use for modeling IUV motion, including position, velocity, forces, and ocean current disturbance. Mathematics we can use to constructing predictive and probabilistic estimation models, and information technology for the implementing 3D visualization and numerical computation for simulation and analysis. The objective in here to compare four position estimation algorithms like Kalman filter, extended Kalman filter, unstanton Kalman filter, and particle filter. The waypoint correction in autonomous underwater vehicle. Maybe is looking mungkin maybe it's first time we heard about the Kalman filter, but actually Kalman filter is just mathematics. So maybe the question why Kalman filter we can use on the navigation. So if we try to simulate the navigation, they must be have a drift. A drift is like the extract momentum, so like inertia. So we try to using this filter to make the trajectory more smoothly. That's the point. So in here, comparison of RUV position using Kalman filter, extended Kalman filter, unstanson Kalman filter, and particle filter is all mathematic. It's all mathematic. And how we can try to understand the habit of the IUV when we try to deploy on the real world environment, especially we can use this filter to make our navigation more smoothly. The navigation have a mission. The main mission is follow the waypoints. They have five waypoints. We can see left corner, top left corner for the key F as then Kalman filter. T is mean is time to use to finish the mission, and VP is mean waypoint. 5/5 is mean they finish the mission completely. Energy in here is mean energy usage to complete the mission, and the current estimation is the positive value. In here we can see that for the key F, they can finish the mission because we can look at the VP waypoint. They can reach 5/5, and as on the EKF, they also can reach 5/5, and on the unstanson Kalman filter, they also can reach 5/5. But we can see in here on the particle filter, they can finish the mission in good because we can see in here waypoints VP it just can reach 1/5, and they takes more consumption of energy because of the model the energy is almost 100%, but in here for the particle filter the energy is just 83.5%. So uh, we can take conclusion here that the Kalman filter is more better for the second, but the mostly the smooth path or the smooth trajectory is Kalman filter. We can see on the current estimate in here plus 0.51. Okay, next we can see we have at least 5 performance evaluation comparison for the Kalman filter, EKF, Astenson Kalman filter, and particle filter. Mean final waypoint error, we can see all the models, at least they can reach 85% of CI. CI in here is mean confident intervals, and the for energy use, the most energy is the just PF. But KF, EKF, and UKF they are less for the using of energy. And the estimate current magnitude we can see which the better. And maybe for this one is called the violin graph. Why we call violin graph? Because the shape is like violins, like the instrumental music. Yeah, I see the violins in here. We can see that the EKF mostly dominant in here. For the next, for the last graph is mean error per waypoint index. We can see from the right side, the black color is mean the error more lower, and the yellow color, the error is more higher. So for this interconnection among STEM component, for the physics discipline, application examples is motion equation of an IUV under direct forces and ocean current disturbance. And the application example is model Kalman's x sub t equal with ax sub t minus 1 plus with bu sub t plus with y sub t. And the technology use of the Python and Matplotlib to creating the simulation for 3D simulation and visualization of IUV trajectories. And the engineering is model system design integrating of Kalman filter, extended Kalman filter, and particle filter for comparative performance evaluation. Modularity and integration represent the core principle of engineering and information technology, enabling systems to evolve, interconnected, and adapt efficient across scientific and computational domains. So STEM concept in the estimation process is like stakes observation. A STEM domain is science. The description is reading and interpreting sensor, including position, current, and measurement noise. For the stake modeling, the STEM domain is mathematics. Description is for building dynamic system equation and developing predictive function for motion estimation. And the safe designs STEM domain is engineering to creating a modular and efficient system executor for filter-based navigation. And for the automation stage, the STEM domain is technology to running the repeated simulation experiment and data analysis through programmable code. This project promotes active and experimental data-driven learning, where scientific inquiry, mathematical modeling, engineering design, and technological implementation converts into unified process of discovery and innovation. Visualization and conceptual learning. In here, 3D animation demonstrate degradation of trajectory accuracy due to the sensor noise and environment disturbance. Correction position estimate through the application of filtering algorithm and comparative performance of four estimation method between KF, EKF, UKF, and particle filter. Visualization serve a powerful pedagogical tool that helps students intuitive grasp abstract concepts such as probabilistic estimation, uncertainty reduction, and feedback correction, bridging the gap between theoretical understanding and practical comprehensions. Educational value and STEM competencies. When we try to doing this project, we can have competencies like data analysis, the learning experience gains like measuring and comparing the accuracy and error rate of each filtering algorithm. System modeling learning experience gain is translating physical principle into mathematical model and estimation and control. And for the computational thinking, we can gain designing modular algorithm and executing simulation through programming. And interdisciplinary collaboration, we can integrating between the physics, mathematics, and information technology within a unified experimental framework. Through simulation-based project like this, students not only learn theoretical principles, but also they try to develop analytical computation and design-oriented skill, embodying the essence of STEM education and applied research and problem solving content. So I see that this is the future direction of Femitapti within the STEM framework because today we have to know that AI will spread around the world that we can use for the mathematics. For example, is for AI-driven modeling and optimization, integrating artificial intelligence with mathematical reasoning for predictive and adaptive system. In biology, for example, we can use for the bioinformatics and computational life science, decoding biological data through algorithm and data-driven analysis. On the physics, we can apply physical intelligence and smart simulation, combining physical modeling with intelligent control and simulation framework. And the last for information technology, intelligent system and digital infrastructure enabling interconnectivity, automation, and large-scale computational integration across domains. So STEM is not merely a learning methodology, but is like paradigm of future science research, fostering innovation through the convergence of theory, computation, and intelligent technology. So I can say that science explores the world, technology builds in, and engineering shapes it. Mathematical makes it precise. Okay, maybe I will like Mr. Sila. I want to show to you how to make the simulation. In here, um, I using the Python. Like I say at the beginning, I using the Python in here. So I make uh at least four models. There is the Kalman filter, extended Kalman filter, unstanson Kalman filter, and the last is particle environment. Is all the mathematics we can see on this. We we have the parameter in here where like the inertia, like rotation, translation, we can apply in here the value. Okay, you can see, and this is the waypoint because we using the three-dimensional simulation. The position is like maybe on the mathematic you can know about the x, y, and z. So if we have the 3D, we use x, y, and z in here. So you can see this is the position of waypoint of the missions, and this is the value of the homing of uh, the condition they drag with the wave like that. So is all the value of the mathematics, all the value of the physics. So when we running this program, we can we can use this one. I try to run all in here. I'm using just we call so, oh so fusion cd in here is change directory. We try to okay. Oh, I'm sorry. In here we need to install numpy. Okay, but I can say that if we want to running this Python, we also using some library like numpy. Like it's all mathematic because uh, numpy is mean numerical Python. So when we running, I was captured the video. When we running the program, you can see like this. Okay, is to make more simple if we success to running of the Python programs, install numpy and whatever we need to support our simulations. Okay, for the last, I want to show to you about the cheat sheet because to more understand about how to make the parameter, how to make the program, we must know about these ones. So it's all the mathematics. You can see it's all the mathematics. How to make the dynamic translation and rotation for our vehicle, how to modeling energy model like this, how to lead proceed waypoint correction. Yeah, it's all mathematics. How to using the Kalman filter for the position, velocity and the current. You can see in here is all the mathematics. So we just put the value in here. So maybe that's all I can share for today. If have there is any question want to ask, I very happy. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much,
Yeah.
Sir Arif. What a very insightful lectures. Okay, Sir Arif, maybe we can continue to discuss about your topic in Q&A session.
Okay.
But now we have to continue to the next lectures. So everyone, as what I said before, that we cannot, I'm sorry, as I said before, that Sir Enric cannot join us today, but we will play his lectures recording. But before we play his lectures recording, let me read his brief CV first. So, Sir Eric Christopher Paulino is an instructor one at the College of Teacher Education, Mariano Marcos State University, or MMSU. He earned his Master of Arts in Education major in Technical Vocational Education in 2022 and graduated cum laude with a bachelor's degree in technology and livelihood education. He has served as a lecturer, trainer, and facilitator in numerous national and international programs, including C Talks Masterclass series and the International ICT Solutions for Transformative Teaching. Enric has participated in wide range of professional development activities in education, technology education, CVET, and innovative pedagogy. He is also an active member of various professional organizations within MMSU. So everyone, let us ask Mas Fajar to help us to play the lectures of Sir Enric. Okay, so here we go, ladies and gentlemen, designing accessible learning environment from universal design to assistive technology integration by Sir Eric Enric.
Good day, everyone. I'm Enric Christopher L. Paulino of the Mariano Marcos State University College of Teacher Education. Today, I will discuss to you about designing accessible learning environments from universal design to assistive technology integration. Imagine a student. Let's call her Anisa. In your mind, is she in Manila, in Bali, or in Montreal? Actually, it doesn't even matter. Because in classrooms all over the world, there is an Anisa. She's bright, she's curious, but she's perhaps struggling. The text is too dense, the pace is too fast, and the fear of speaking up in a Zoom chat is paralyzing. Now, what is our most common well-intentioned response? We notice her falling behind. We scramble. We find her an audiobook. We give her perhaps extra time. We make an accommodation. And this is our vital safety net. But let me ask you, in this story, when does help arrive for Anissa? So let's just think about that. When does help arrive for Anissa? After. After she has struggled. And this is reactive in nature. After she has felt the pang of frustration. We have become expert first aid responders, rushing to treat learning injuries inside a system that itself is causing them. But what if we could stop the injuries from happening in the first place? What if we could build a different kind of system? You've all seen a curb cut. Okay, this is slope ramp in a sidewalk. It was designed for wheelchair users. Originally, originally it is for wheelchair users. But now, who uses it? Who uses it? A parent with a stroller, a cyclist, a traveler with a heavy suitcase, and among others. Designing the curb cut for a group's needs created a better public space for everyone. And this is the power of the curb cut effect. This is the paradigm shift we need in education. We must stop just being first aid responders and start becoming architects. This is the universal design for learning, or UDL. It's not a program, it's a design mindset. It's a design mindset. It means we proactively build our lessons on three pillars from the very beginning. And that's the difference of the UDL to accommodation. Because a while back, the example that I have given to you is accommodation and it is reactive in nature. UDL, on the other hand, is proactive. We see it a mile before. Okay? Now, we have three pillars from the very beginning with the UDL. First, engagement. The why of learning, or how to tap into what challenges, excites, and interests our learners. We focus on practical strategies to stimulate motivation and provide multiple means of engagement for everyone. Second, representation, the what of learning, or how we identify information like words, patterns, and facts. So to support this, we provide multiple ways of presenting content, allowing every learner to grasp the material successfully. And third, expression, the how of learning, or how students plan, organize, and express their ideas. To empower our learners, we provide multiple means of action and expression, differentiating how our learners can demonstrate their competencies. We are not designing a single path for the average student. We are designing a learning landscape with multiple on-ramps, multiple pathways, and multiple destinations. Let me bring this back to Anissa. In the old model, her story was about getting help, reactive in nature. In the new model, with the UDL or the Universal Design for Learning, her story is about never needing to ask for it in the first place. The teacher, acting as an architect, built the class with options. When introducing a new novel, we don't just hand out a book. We shared a digital text that could be read aloud by a computer, a link to an audiobook, and a video that set the historical context. You see here, the barrier was reading. And perhaps for the final project, students didn't just write an essay. They could create a podcast, a graphic novel, or a recorded presentation. Anissa, who dreaded writing, chose to make a documentary. She wasn't accommodated. She was empowered. She was not accommodated, as I have said. She was empowered. She wasn't singled out. She was simply learning. Now, you might be thinking, this sounds like it needs a lot of technology. And you're right, but not in the way you might imagine. We need to rethink assistive technology. We need to rethink it. It's not just a specialized wheelchair for one students. It's the ramp that built into the environment. It's the text-to-speech that's available to every student who wants to listen while they read. It's the speech-to-text software that a budding filmmaker uses to write their script, and the student with dysgraphia uses to write their essay. Here is one of my favorite ramp. This is Microsoft Immersive Reader. With just one click, this tool can read text aloud, break it into syllables, and highlight parts of speech. It's a game changer for a student with dyslexia. It's incredibly helpful for a language learner. And it's just good for anyone who wants to focus better. So the example that I'm showing you right now is the Microsoft Immersive Reader from the MS Word. But we can also find it in MS Edge and also, as well as with MS 365 applications. Okay? So this is just an example. UDL is the foundation. Let me just say that. UDL is the foundation, and assistive technologies or technology is the specialized toolset built upon it. So think of universal design for learning as constructing a multi-lane highway with wide shoulders, clear signs, and rest stops. It was meticulously designed to accommodate a diverse range of vehicles, which is our metaphor for our learners, safely and efficiently. AT or assistive technology serves as the specialized vehicle or tool that some drivers require to access the highway. For instance, a motorcycle necessitates a helmet, a safety gear. A large truck demands a powerful engine, and an individual with a disability might need a car equipped with hand controls. The crucial aspect to remember is that a well-designed highway, the UDL, doesn't render the specialized vehicle or AT, assistive technology, obsolete. In fact, it enhances the journey for everyone, including those utilizing specialized tools, making it smoother, safer, and more integrated. Now, this might not be included in my topic, but I think this is important because, as we all know, with the things that we are juggling as educators of our countries, we can rely on and ask assistance from AI to make our jobs a little bit easier. Since it could take a lot of effort to plan for UDL, it will take time because even myself, I've been using UDL and ATs without the use of AI. It would be harder to implement UDL. As they said, teachers who harness AI's potential won't just survive, they will thrive. A- Teachers who harness AI's potential won't just survive, they will thrive. Um, these are the QR codes, uh, which includes a prompt so that you can apply UDL and assistive technology for your respective class. And we have there a sample too of the response from the prompt that I have created for you. Just a disclaimer, AI can make mistakes, so please check the important information. The sample topic here is based on the Technology and Livelihood Education, Information and Communication Technology, grade 6, as per the Philippine Basic Ed curriculum. So feel free to explore the provided materials. You can modify the prompt according to your requirements, of course, according to your liking. So you don't have to adhere to it strictly. So I leave you with this question. What is one barrier you have seen in your own virtual or physical classroom that you could design out? Again, what is one barrier you have seen in your own virtual or physical classroom that you could design out? It doesn't have to be a massive overhaul. Your first blueprint can be very simple. Maybe it's turning on auto captions in every Zoom session, a simple ramp for those who struggle to hear, for whom English is a second language, especially here in Asia, or who just want to see the word to remember it. Maybe it's providing a choice in your next assignment. Let them write or report or create a narrated slideshow. Start with one curve cut. See who uses it, and you will be amazed. We have the power to be architects of inclusion, to stop designing for a mythical average and start celebrating the brilliant diversity of the human mind. Let's build a world where every learner in every corner of the globe can access the education they deserve, not by chance, but by design. Thank you.
Okay, so that was the recording of Sir Enric's lecture. So everyone, now we arrive at the Q&A session. But before we go to Q&A session, let me remind you everyone to fill the presence link in the chat box, because we will send your certificate through to your email based on this form, everyone. Okay, so now we are in the Q&A session. Everyone, just Feel free to drop your question in the chat box, or maybe you can raise your hand or unmute your speaker. I'm sorry, unmute your microphone to ask directly to our speakers today. Okay, everyone. Or maybe Sir Aziz, you're smiling. I think I think you have some question to our speakers today.
Okay, thank you, Miss Devi. Oh my God. Okay. Well, I think all of the topic is really interesting, but when I saw like Mr. Arif topic, to me it's quite complex. So, Mr. Arif, and about the STEM-based simulation, how can we implement it in our classroom so the student, especially in the university degree in bachelor degree in IT education, can learn the best about their competency through your like the STEM simulation.
Okay, I will try to give my best answer.
Yeah.
Actually, it's very easy because as we know, if we teach on the class, we always using the passive learning. We maybe sometime we using the active learning, but the STEM in here is like problem based learning. So in our daily life, we have many problems. It must be we have many problems. So when we found the problems, we give to our student like on the mathematic cases. Maybe we have many problem on mathematics. We try to give the problem uh, to to the student to give the solve. When for the example like this, I will try to explain in my uh we all have to know about the NASA. I will want to share to screen maybe like this. I have at least five six paper I want to share. One of my paper is about the multi-agent reinforcement learning. Maybe we have to know about the reinforcement learning. It's not kind of how we teach, but it's kind of AI. And here we have IUV in here. Not only one IUV, but we have two IUV in here. See how we can make the mission success to combine to IUV. In my case, of course, we try to adapt the experience from the first IUV. They got the experience to teach the to the next IUV. Okay, that's the problem. So in here we try to using the stems because we don't have IUV, of course. We just have a computer. We try to imagine IUV is mean like autonomous underwater vehicle, so they must be moved on the underwater area, right? So underwater area is mean like they have wave currents, and the wave current it must be uh, can be create effect on our vehicle, maybe like a drag effect, so the speed can lower than the real conditions. So if we using the critical thinking in here, we using the problem solve thinking. We try to explain to our student how about this case. We have IUV, two IUV, they operation together on the underwater area, and they embedded with the battery, they move on the ocean environment. So you must make a calculation of the battery remaining, of the effect of the current disturbance, something like that. So our student maybe uh, at the first time maybe they imagine how underwater area, how the ocean area. So yeah, 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 maybe at the first time it's very complicated, but if we at the first time is very complicated, but I believe that uh, all the complex explanation we can make more simple by the mathematics. Yeah, maybe like that. Sorry if very, yeah, complicated. I try to explain in the simple way. Yeah, okay.
Yes,
Okay,
thank you very much for the
okay.
response.
One more. I
Yeah.
have another example like this. We have an example like in the NASA. NASA, NASA is mean like they want to launch the rocket maybe. Launch rocket. Maybe we can know the historic of NASA when they launch the rocket is not always a success, right? So why is not success? Maybe depend on the weather, maybe like the environment not support the system or something like that. So we can see the data of NOAA in here about the atmospheric river, heavy rain, potential flooding, and edge, etc. We get the data. When we scrap the data, we can make a decision when we launch the rockets. Yeah, yeah, it's like STEM is like that. STEM is yeah, actually is like yeah, it's problem spread in our daily life. But in the context of education, maybe we can try put some simple example, maybe, maybe. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much,
Yeah,
Sir Aziz and Sir Arif. I think it's clear enough for you, Sir Aziz.
Yes, yes, thank you very much for the responses. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Do we have another participants who wants to ask some questions? Maybe Mam Rifana? Mam Rifana, I can see you, Mam Rifana. Is there any question that you want to ask to our distinguished speaker today, Mam Rifana? Oh, okay. All right, maybe oh, okay, we have Sir Regi. Okay.
Hi, hello, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, Sir Regi.
Uh, I would like to ask a question
Mm-hmm.
to Sir Arif.
yep,
Okay.
He mentioned about the different disciplines in STEM,
yep.
and then I would like to ask a question about what strategies can teachers in Indonesia use to effectively incorporate simulation-based learning in STEM education, considering the varying levels of technological competencies among their teachers? And how can these simulations be adapted to reflect Indonesia's local context?
Okay, I try to give best answer in here. So maybe the like we have know about the problem like the mathematic. Maybe I will using a pen in here. No. So actually like I want share like this. Sorry. Yep. Wait. Okay. I take the example of my research about the multi-layer communications. I'm sorry if I take this example because my research is focused on the IUV and underwater communication. So I try to give a simple example in here. Here, the IUV operations, we can see this is the kind of the unmanned aerial vehicle. They operate on the area is the surface vessel, is the media transfer for the communication. They're using optics. All the communications media, they have weakness, but also they have strengths. So my idea, if they have a weakness and strengthness in the split area, why we not make as a layer? So in here I make at least 6 layer, layer 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I make this simulation, and the question for the next question is how to know the effectiveness of our model. So I try to using the mathematic in here, how to know the total power loss is equal with summation of n and m, where I equal with 1, g with equal with 1, and they will show the path loss layer in here. From the simulation, I can know the power loss each layer. So in here. So the most effective of each layer in here, we can know from the simulations. So the question is maybe how to modeling these ones. How to modeling this one? I using these equations to know the total power loss. But I adapt the characteristic of its communication medium, like the optic communication is must be different with the radio frequency communication. Radio frequency is must be differ with the electromagnetic communication. So the differ of its media communication, I makes its model onto this layer, layer 0 onto layer 5, and for the calculation, I just using this one calculation to make these ones. So from these cases, we must know about the physics, how to transmit, how the modeling of its medium communication, like the radio frequency. We must to know how the optical communication was work on physics, the value, how the model can work. So it's very physics, it's very mathematics. So from that knowledge, we apply on simulation. Okay, maybe the simple explanation is like that. I'm sorry if not give best answer, but I try to give it my best in here. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Sir Arif. Sir
Yep.
Regi, is the explanation clear enough for you? Okay, thank you so much. All right, so we have one more question in chat box, and this question is addressed to Mam Sheila. Hello, good afternoon. I am from Thailand, and I am interested to asking a question about the reimagining classroom learning with interactive technologies presented by the first speaker, Mam Sheila. While it is commendable to use Nearpod for teaching and learning, may I know if this requires internet connection? If yes, how could we use this awesome technology to reimagine a classroom? In Thailand, there are schools who do not have access to internet due to their geographical concerns. Issues about digital divide has been a problem for decades now, and is really a perennial problem to developing countries. My another question now, as a teacher in the Philippines, what programs do you have, and how can you ensure that interactive technologies just like Nearpod do not widen the digital divide, especially in underprivileged areas or rural schools? Okay, maybe Mom Sheila, would you like to answer it directly, Mom Sheila? Mom Sheila, are
Hi,
you?
ma'am. Hi, Ma'am
Hi.
Devi.
Hi, Mom
Good day,
Sheila.
ma'am.
Good
Okay,
day,
ma'am.
Mom.
Okay, thank you for that question. Regarding on the use of the Nearpod, first, Nearpod generally requires an internet connections, especially when delivering live lessons or accessing cloud-based content. However, teachers can still prepare or give lessons offline and use features like in the low bandwidth settings. Of course, for example, just like a video, you can create you can create interactive video and download it. And of course, just like the presentation a while back, you can also download it. You already created a presentation, then download it to and give to your students. So in the questions environment which with limited connectivity, the focus is more on often on using the downloadable, maybe the downloadable file. You can use the downloadable lessons or device-ready resources or alternative tools you can use offline or to function offline. Regarding reimagining the classroom means I think it's being flexible enough to using Nearpad where the connections allows and adapting often offline friendly tools or strategies of the teacher is very necessary. Second, as a teacher in the Philippines, you also have faces similar challenges, especially in the rural and underprivileged communities, just like cities or barangays. Not in here because we are in the uh, center. So we have here to ensure the interactive technologies do not widen the digital divide. We support several approaches or programs. Of course, you can create a model, a realia, just to give the instruction or just to have an alternative support to your discussion. So I hope I answer the question of Kyotichi. Okay, thank you, Ma'am Devi.
Okay, thank you so much, Mom Sela. I think the explanation is clear enough. So I think, okay, I think it's okay. One more question. This question is addressed to Sir Arif. The topic is interesting about STEM simulation. In what ways can simulation technologies help Indonesian teachers foster collaborative and inquiry-based learning in STEM classrooms? Sir Arif, maybe I think this will be the last question because of the limitation of the time. Sir Arif, would you please answer the question?
Okay, the application of STEM in class may be differ in research, of course, but we can take like the problem on the research maybe like this one, like this one. I have an example. Maybe I one is again I take as one example. In here, I want to make a simulation how to deploy the IUV from the homing point to take data from the UWSN. UWSN is underwater wireless sensor network. The characteristic of the sensor we maybe we explain to our students like what is the sensor, what the IUV, the operation on the underwater area. We try to make storytelling to him before we starting to explanation like the complex model like this. We try to make a storytelling like what is the IUV, what is the condition of the oceans, like this, what the UWSNs, what is the sensor, the characteristic of the sensor. Like in my case, when I deploy the IUV to take a sensor, to take the data from the sensor when we take the data, they must be happen like buffer condition. Buffer condition is like the data transmit to the IUV, right? The data transmit the IUV. So the logical thinking is like this: when the IUV come and the data is ready, it must be data on the sensor is decreased, and the data uh, what is mean like, yeah, it's like a value, just value. It's mathematics, just value. And after they finish the first mission, they continue the second nodes in here. And and yeah, it's uh, like the game theory, like the I have another example like this, maybe. I'm sorry. This one is like the game theory. We have IUV, but I'm modeling using the particle environment, using the particle model in here. Is the node of the sensor when they and this is the parameter, like the training, total training episode, evaluation interval, and with the eigens is the blue one is the tree of IUV. It's very complicated. I try to make it simple. It's like a game theory. They if they can reach the total the nodes of the sensors, if they finish the missions, they got the good reward, the good training rewards like this. And the good training reward show by the graphic rise up. Yeah, where on when we see the comparison between this the green reward and the blue ones is better the green, right? So we can explain, oh, so the agent is must be learning in here. The blue one is because it's too flat, so maybe the learning process is not too good. So we can take the conclusion that the green one is more better than the blue one. Okay. I'm sorry if my explanation is not because in education maybe it's different cases, but we can use like the mathematics to explain uh, about the position, velocity, current like this. Is all the mathematics. It's all the mathematics. So we when we know the formula, we just put the value on here, and our model will running as we want. So the simple explanation like that, Miss Devi Wulandari.
All
I'm sorry.
right.
Yeah, I'm sorry because
Okay.
yeah, in the classes maybe have too long. I'm not learning on the class, so
Oh,
yeah. For the
okay.
material, they explain on what material in mathematics,
Okay.
uh, uh, what giving to the student. I don't know about 3 years. These 3 years. Yeah.
So it could be a little bit difficult to implement to applicate it in classroom, sir.
Not always. If we have a problem, we and the problem maybe we can solve with the manual.
Mm-hmm.
We can solve using manual. We can solve using like the a simple system. We can use this STEM. We can combine
Okay.
between the mathematics, physics, and the engineering on this process. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, but the first thing is we must get the problem. What is problem when we solve? Like in my
Okay.
cases, the problem when I want to solve is about the communication in underwater area,
Mm-hmm.
how to collaborate it, between the IUV. Because I have the problem, so I have a way of thinking how to solve that. But in
Okay.
the if we have cases, the
Mm-hmm.
complicated cases on the class, and we want to solve in,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, to explain to our student, maybe I can more give more better explanation on that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I hope it answers the question from Kyoto Chi. And the last question from Kyoto Chi, I think this question is addressed to Sir Enric, but Sir Enric is not here now. So Kyoto Chi, you can send him this question via email. Sir Aziz, maybe you can help me to drop the email of Sir Enric in chat box. So everyone who wants to send or maybe need a further discussion about the topic of Sir Enric, you can send him via email. Okay, so I think that's all, everyone. But before we close, let's take a group photo, maybe. Mas Fajar, can you please help us? So, everyone, please open your camera and then post your best smile, your prettiest smile. So, Mas Fajar will capture our picture. Let me count 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Smile. Okay, first slide. We go to second slide. 1, 2, 3. Smile. Okay. I think how many slide we have? We have here. Sir Aziz, maybe you can help me. How many slide? Next slide. Okay.
We have 7 slides.
7 slide. Okay, the third slide now. 1, 2, 3. The fourth slide now. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Slide 5. 1, 2, 3. Slide 6. 1, 2, 3. And the last slide. 1, 2, 3. Okay, all right. The photo session is end up now. Let me remind you, everyone, that we still have the next session on Monday, 17 November 2025. Please make sure that you will join the session. Once again, oh, I'm sorry. We have one last session. It is handling the certificate for our distinguished speakers. So first, maybe for Ma'am Sheila, Mas Fajar, maybe you can help us to show up the certificate. Okay, so this is the certificate of appreciation to Mom Sheila May Juan. Thank you so much, Mom Sheila. So here is the certificate.
Thank you so much, Ma'am.
Okay, all right. Now the certificate of appreciation for our second speaker, Sir Arif.
Yep.
Please show up the certificate, Mas Fajar. Okay, so this is the certificate of appreciation we presented to Sir Arif. Thank you so much, Sir Arif.
Okay.
Okay, so I think that's all, everyone. Once again, thank you so much to our speakers, to all the participants, to all the committees. This has been me, Dewi Wulandari, serving as your moderator today. See you next time. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Mabuhay. Thank you. Bye-bye,
Ya,
everyone. Thank
kamsahamnida.
you.
Kamsahamnida.
Kamsahamnida, Master
Kamsahamnida,
Arif.
Ya.
mabuhay, salamat
Thank you,
Andy.
Mom.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.